Something stinks at this bachelorette party. It's Deidre. Am I the asshole for leaving a trip early because it got too expensive? I, female 28, went on a bachelorette for the weekend. Prior to the trip, I let the group chat know that I'm on a budget and need to know the expenses in advance before I can agree. We all agreed on around $500, which I thought was doable. Before getting there, we paid for the hotel and ride around since we're drinking, which was $300. We split it to where the bride wouldn't pay for these, which I was fine with. Then, when I arrived, we had our dinner planned and went to a fancy restaurant. I ordered the cheapest meal, and then one of the girls took the bill and paid. The following day, I asked how much the tip was to pay my portion, and the girls responded to just split the check. And I said no, my meal was nothing compared to them. Then they expected us to pay for the bride for everything she's ordered the entire trip, while she was getting the most expensive meals and drinks/flights at places. Flights? Then said, why would you come here and not pay for everything for her? I understand paying for certain things for the bride, but I wasn't expecting to pay for her entire trip. Other bachelorettes I've been on didn't do that. However, if they would have told me in advance, I could have planned. Everyone knew but me. I told the bride that the girls were rude and that I can't afford to stay and I'm uncomfortable. She said it was fine. She appreciated my time. Keep in mind, I wasn't invited to the wedding. What? Keep in mind, I wasn't invited to the wedding because she couldn't afford it. Then uninvited me to the bridal shower and as a friend. How do you get invited to a bachelorette and not the wedding? I'm not an expert. I've never had did I have a bachelorette? I don't know. I was married one time. And I was wearing flip-flops when I got married. That's how disconnected I was. Pink rubber flip-flops because I forgot my shoes at home. So how many other people at that bachelorette were not actually invited to the wedding? That's my question, because to me, it's almost like they feel like they're doing those people a favor by inviting them. But in reality, the cost goes down. If they're planning to split the cost of everything, then each of them has to pay less. That's a little sus to me. Let's see what the comments say. But first, if you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Deidre. If you are into exploring relationships and psychology and what makes people tick and how people get along and dating, etc., that's what we do on this channel. We explore people's experiences, analyze, give okay advice, and perhaps ourselves evolve into the people that we want to be in the world and having the experiences that we want to have as far as relationships are concerned. We do Reddit, we do TikTok, we do emails, and we just have a good old time. So if you are interested, go ahead and subscribe. You are more than welcome to come along for the adventures, starting with this one. I'm sorry you weren't invited to the wedding, but you were invited to the bachelorette party? Oh, it's not like that. I'm sorry? You weren't invited to the wedding, but you were invited to the bachelorette party? Someone's an asshole here, and it's not you. I agree. Something stinks at this bachelorette party. And Opie responds with, yes, she said it was small for only family, but then I found out everyone there was going to the wedding but me. Oh, so she was the only one that was left out of the wedding. How does anyone benefit from that? That means there was only one extra body there to split the cost with, and that's not much. That's not much. Why would they go out of their way to invite her to bachelorette but then not invite her to the wedding? That makes no sense. I still went to the bachelorette to celebrate her. And someone responds with, you shouldn't have gone at all. These people are not your friends. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's really sad. It wouldn't have costed much to include her in the wedding. Just one more person. And honestly, that one more person, in addition to the others at the bachelorette, wouldn't have taken much of the cost of splitting it off of the others. So this has to be a personal thing. Possibly they were using you to help subsidize their bride's expenses. I don't think it's that much, though. Someone else says, they weren't really your friends. You were just a convenient ATM for the bridal shower, not the asshole. The only ATM there? Like, I don't understand. It's personal. It has to be personal. Not the asshole. You went in on good faith and were upfront about your limits. These girls are going to be paying 3 times the cost in credit card interest for months while you move on to better things. And I agree. Like, I don't understand. I'm not going to criticize anyone, but I don't understand why it's normal for people to spend so much money, not just on wedding, but also like bachelorette type stuff. Like, I get it, wanting to have all those little things, but to rack up so much expenses and then dump it on your guests, your literal guests and friends, that is wild to me. I don't like that. I don't like the idea. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it myself. If I ever got married, we're all friends. We're all gonna go do something fun. And, if they want to pay, that would be great. But I'm not going to go out there and splurge and, get the best meal and flights or whatever that this bride was doing and expect my friends to pay for that. That's not fair to them. They're there to support me. I'm not going to put the pressure on them to go broke doing so. That's not necessary. Just be there. That's enough for me.
Yeah.